in the court of the Abbasid Caliph, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, poets would gather from across the lands, hoping to earn reward and recognition through their verses. But the Caliph was known for his sharp mind and extraordinary memory. He had set a strict rule. Any poet who presented an original poem would be rewarded with gold equal to the weight of what it was written on. But if the poem was not original, the poet would receive nothing. To ensure this, the Caliph relied on his remarkable memory. He could memorize a poem after hearing it only once. He also had a servant boy and a servant girl who would help confirm whether a poem was already known. In this way, many poets were denied rewards and their efforts went unrecognized. When the great scholar Al-Asma'i heard of this, he said, "There is trickery and cunning in this matter." So he devised a plan. He composed a poem filled with unusual words, complex sounds, and strange meanings, something deliberately difficult to memorize. Then, since he was well known in the court, he disguised himself as a Bedouin and entered before the Caliph. Standing in the court, he said, "I have a poem I would like to recite, and I do not think you have ever heard it before." The Caliph said, "Go ahead." Then Al-Asma'i began reciting.
The whistle of the nightingale stirred my intoxicated heart. Water and blossoms together with the blossom of her glancing eyes. And you, O master of mine, my master and my Lord. How many times I was enthralled by a little gazelle of agate red cheeks. I plucked it from a cheek, from kissing the rose of shyness. So she said no, 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 and fled away in haste. And the maiden swayed in delight at the act of this man. So she wailed and wailed, woe to me, woe to me, oh woe to me. So I said, do not wail and show me the pearl between us. She said then, rise and strive to bring the refreshments. And you served me coffee sweet like honey. I smelled it with my nose, more fragrant than clove, in the midst of a garden adorned with blossoms and joy for me. And the lute hummed, drawing near to me, and the drum beat its rhythm for me. Tap, 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 tap for me. And the roof echoed, sack, 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 and the dancing became pleasing to me. Roast upon roast and shash, laid upon leaves of quince, and the turtle dove sang aloud, abundance within abundance. And if you were to see me riding upon a feeble donkey, walking on 3 legs like the gait of the lame, and the people threw at my camel in the market with clattering stones, and all went ka 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 behind me and all around me, but I went on fleeing out of fear of the great calamity. Until I reached a king, magnificent and greatly honored, who ordered for me a robe red like flowing blood. I walked in it, trailing its hem with pride in my stride. I am the brilliant man of letters from the quarters of the land of Mosul. I composed adorned verses beyond the reach of any man of letters. I say in its opening, the voice of the nightingale's whistle.
The poem flowed quickly, with tangled rhythms and unfamiliar expressions like the chirping of a bird, light yet elusive. When he finished, the court fell silent. The Caliph tried to repeat the poem, but he could not remember anything from it. Then he called his servant boy, but he too could not recall it. Then the servant girl tried, and she also failed. For the first time, the Caliph was unable to prove that a poem was already known. Bound by his own rule, he said, "I will give you gold equal to the weight of what you wrote it on, so what did you write it on?" Al-Asma'i replied, "I inherited a marble pillar from my father, and I engraved the poem onto it. It is outside on my camel carried by 10 men." They brought it in, and it was incredibly heavy. It was placed on the scale, and the amount of gold required became enormous. At that moment, the minister grew suspicious and said, "O commander of the faithful, I believe this is none other than Al-Asma'i." The Caliph said, "Remove your covering, O Bedouin." So the man removed his veil, and it was indeed Al-Asma'i. The Caliph said, "Would you do this to the commander of the faithful, Al-Asma'i?" He replied, "O commander of the faithful, you have cut off the livelihood of poets by this practice." The Caliph said, "Return the money, O Asma'i." He replied, "I will not return it." The Caliph insisted, "Return it." Al-Asma'i said, "On one condition." The Caliph asked, "What is it?" He said, "That you reward poets for their work, whether it is original or transmitted." The Caliph paused, then said, "You have what you ask." And so, Al-Asma'i achieved what he intended, not wealth but justice. From that day on, the story of the whistle of the nightingale became a legend, a story of intelligence overcoming power, and of a poet who used brilliance not just in words, but in wisdom.